Conflict mitigation and management is intimately linked to the struggle for economic justice in the Franciscan tradition and movement. This is our heritage. Economic justice and the pursuit of peace and nonviolent active social transformation give fresh energy to the Franciscan Action Network, seeking to propose an alternative vision to political leaders, military commanders, and ordinary citizens living in an age of fear, resignation, and open hostility toward all those who are not us. Immigrants fleeing political and economic hardships, Muslims who are committed to the same core values as others who participate in the pursuit of the American dream, those among us who might dare question the pursuit of a military option in all international dealings. Care for creation is the third pillar of the Franciscan movement. Francis himself is oftentimes depicted as a bird-bathing nature lover plugged down in gardens throughout the United States and elsewhere. This soft side of the visionary prophet of the 12th and 13th centuries masks a more fundamental truth about Francis's vision of the fundamental connection between human beings and the natural environments in which we live. Environmental care is a matter of justice and the survival of all species equally dignified before God. In Francis's view of the world, nature inhabits us. It dwells within us and shapes our every thought, the choices that we make and the actions we take. Nature stands in direct relationship to the human community, providing opportunities for the survival and the well-being of all human persons, all living beings equally. The absence of justice in relationships within the human community for Francis leads to extreme forms of degradation of the natural environment. Viewed in contemporary development and security language, Francis and the Franciscan movement take seriously the question of human security. As Anthony Nyong argues in his recent article, Resource and Environmental Security, today people around the world, particularly in the developing world, are struggling to survive in the face of a multitude of environmental problems, the overuse of natural resources, the degradation of the ecosystem, and extreme climatic events such as floods, droughts, and hurricanes. These problems play an important role in increasing human vulnerability, undermining livelihoods and human well-being, threatening environmental security, and potentially generating or exacerbating conflict. Francis and his revolutionary movement have been called once again to declare sacred all that God has created and entrusted to us. The Franciscan Action Network, much like the Franciscan movement, arises at a particularly critical moment in the course of human history, a moment when the future of the planet and its inhabitants will be decided. As Franciscan environmental scholar Keith Warner argues in an article, Taking Nature Seriously, the erosion of our planetary life support systems may be irreversible, yet before full scientific proof can be amassed, it will be too late to prevent a series of humanitarian and ecological disasters. We, the members of the Franciscan Action Network, assume our responsibility as moral ecological community and commit to the development of a socio-political project that can enhance the protection of our natural world. It is with much humility that we, the Franciscan family in the United States, unite our energies and resources to form the Franciscan Action Network and Franciscan Action Center. We seek not to create just one more advocacy group clamoring for resources, attention, and change. Rather, we seek to focus on the three core values we as Franciscans share with the world and now seek to share with the beltway of Washington politics. We seek the development of a new and courageous moral vision, one described in the reading from Revelations we heard just a moment ago. It is because of the poor that we exist and name ourselves as participants and fellow travelers on the road to justice and dignity. Violent conflict and the push for a militarized response and control of all the means made available for social reconstruction and development demand that we, as bearers of peace and practitioners of active nonviolence, share our vision and commitment with our government and with all who believe that violence can be responded to only with equal or excessive show of force. We have an alternative vision. Threats to the natural environment, which impact mostly the poor and marginalized, but also bear negative consequences for the entire human family, demand that we place our vision of a moral, ecological community at the service of humanity. We, the Franciscans, stand ready to work in collaboration with all people of all political, religious, cultural, and other persuasions on these central themes which govern our lives, define the most critical issues confronting the human community, and are proposed as God's opportune moment at this time in history. We Franciscans stand in particular relationship to all of humanity. No turf to defend, no boundaries to maintain, only relationships to build and hope to extend to a world hungering for life. May our efforts bring to birth the type of world necessary for the full promotion of human dignity and the well-being of all people and all creation. The type of world advanced by the writer of Revelations, a dwelling worthy of human beings, a dwelling worthy of God.